Voice! Lockin'! Tonight we rock!
What is up, guys? What is cracking? It's the Con Man, and I'm in your house. And you guys already know the vibes. Anytime we slide on through, we're here to give you that work when it comes to this professional wrestling business. And guys, it's Wednesday. And you know what that means. Yes, I know. It's time for AEW Dynamite a little bit later. But also, it's time for In Your House. And specifically, the WCW Watch Along. And listen, we have got a great episode planned for you today. And I'm really excited to get into it. And some of you guys in the chat already know we're already talking about the episode that we have today, but we're going to get into it. Before I do, let me bring in and on my man who talks wrestling with me each and every week. He's the producer of the show. On days like today, we watch WCW, but every day, he's the voice, Josh Joseph. What is up, brother man?
How goes it, house? How goes it, household? Nightwing, how are you doing? The
What's
In
up,
Your House
Nightwing?
UK hand, I guess.
Representative,
full-fledged member. We absolutely adore you. Thank you for chiming in. And yes, the nWo part of the opening, such a fantastic. The opening to me for all of the shows we do is one of my favorite to the house. I think we knocked it out of the park with this one.
Out of the park, man, like the home run derby for sure. Just like we're gonna do the same thing with this episode, voice, because man, listen, this morning at work, it's usually my off day on Wednesdays, but I have a vacation coming up for me and the family, so I've been working overtime to get a little extra money leading up to our vacation. So because I was in there at work on a Wednesday, I got a chance to go to Apple Podcast, my favorite place to listen to podcasts outside of Spotify, both places where you can catch In Your House. And I listened to the Window Liquors Raw review show, and it was a great episode. I know it from being in the chat because that chat was absolutely insane. We had dozens of people in the chat, dozens of comments in the chat, flowing with the episode, going back and forth with each other. It was a great flow of comments, and this is not the first time this has happened on a Tuesday episode, but we love when it does, when all you guys come out at the same time, ready to talk Raw, ready to talk wrestling. And yeah, man, I got a chance to listen back to that episode, and bro, it was a great episode, voice.
Yeah, that was a fun one. Yeah, the chat went wild, and it put me behind the eight ball, and we were just trying to keep up. There was a soccer fight. There was a Sami Zayn argument. There were so many things going on in that chat. Man. It was very hard to keep up, but fun. It was a lot of fun, and Kevin just he really knows how to gather the conversation up and say, hey, anybody want to discuss some things, and he throws it out there. We had a lot of fun last night.
Yes, most definitely, for sure. And I want to say what's up to OG Tony out there in the building. He's going to be joining us. Him and Chris Gonzalez will be joining us this Saturday for the UFC 329 watch along. We'll talk more about that a little bit later, probably closer to the end of the episode. We'll talk about that. But like Nightwing said, Raw was a crazy episode this week, and I'm going to give my light thoughts on Raw. Not anything too deep, because if you want to get deep into the Monday Night Raw talk, when it comes to In Your House, you got to go to Tuesdays, Window Liquors Raw review show. So I'll give some of my light thoughts. But today, because of that episode, it sparked a really good discussion outside of Monday Night Raw. And that discussion was about factions, stables, groups in professional wrestling. And it was a great talk that we had to put a pin in because there was a lot to talk about with Monday Night Raw. A lot to talk about. This was, in my opinion, a Monday Night Raw that, and to me, was riveting, but also very it was split down the middle. It was a controversial episode of Monday Night Raw in some ways because of the outcome of the main event. Once again, I'll get into it here in a second, but we have a great episode planned because we talk factions and we're going to do it in a kind of unconventional way a little bit because the idea was to get us talking. And, you know, you got the World Cup going on, and we just had the King of the Ring tournament, the King and Queen of the Ring tournament. We just had the Owen Cup, men and women's Owen Cup. So tournaments, they're in the discussion, man. They're in the discussion. So I wanted to mix it up. So what we're going to be doing is a greatest factions of all time tournament. And hey, you guys can join too. All right, we got the factions out there. I put it out earlier on my social media. I put it on my IG. I put it on my Facebook and Instagram story. And automatically people were talking. I was getting comments back and forth voice. Oh, it's the nWo. It's gotta, even Big Oja, the badass construction worker, said the answer's gotta be DX, right? We'll talk about it. We're going to talk about it because we have the bracket here for you guys to take a look at here. And listen, there's a lot of great factions in the mix here when you take a look at that. And man, listen, this is a tough one because I almost did a 32. I almost did a 32 faction tournament, but then I'm like, me and Voice gonna be here 2 hours if we do that. So uh, listen, it's this is what we're looking at. We've got the nWo. They're going to be going up against the Dangerous Alliance. The Hart Foundation goes up against the Wyatt family. Bullet Club Judgment Day. Bloodline New Day. Then we also have the Generation X versus the Nation of Domination. Whoops. Whoops.
Dick move. Dick move.
Whoops.
Yep.
Evolution versus the Elite. The Four Horsemen versus the Corporation. The Shield versus the Don Callis family. Okay, we're about to get into that, but first let me give my thoughts on Monday Night Raw. And once again, I promise I'm going to keep it tight. This show, Monday Night Raw, was what it needed to be for the location and the timing. I'll say that again. This Monday Night Raw was what it needed to be, mainly due to the location and timing. You know, it's funny how location and timing works. Because a mere 11 days ago, the location was right. The timing felt right for one Sami Zayn to win the WWE Undisputed Championship at Night of Champions in Saudi Arabia in front of his people that believe his beliefs. And they embrace him for that. So he's their guy. Timing felt right. Just like the timing felt right a few years ago in Elimination Chamber in Montreal when Sami Zayn faced Roman Reigns. When we were on the road to what would end up being Cody's story. We had to protect Cody's story. So we didn't pull it. But we pulled it this time. But once again, it's funny, Voice. It's funny how location and timing work. Because 11 days ago, the wrestling world was on top of the world. Sami Zayn Finally, WWE champion on his 10th try. And 9 days later, the location, Chicago. The timing, main event, WWE Undisputed Championship. The last time the WWE Championship changed hands on a Monday Night Raw was in 2021. That was the last time when Big E cashed in on Bobby Lashley to become the World Heavyweight Champion. Cashed in Money in the Bank. And now we have CM Punk showing up so conveniently, like the guy doesn't live right down the road from the arena. And he comes in and he takes everything from Sami Zayn. Now, I could focus on that. But what I want to focus on real quick is the reaction of the IWC from this. Because it's fucking disgusting, bro.
Yeah, they're a bunch of nerds.
Oh my gosh. Like, I'm seeing content creators that I've known and worked with and respect. I mean, it's sad out here, bro. I mean, they are crashing out so bad. They're talking about this was one of the worst episodes of Monday Night Raw of the year.
Yep.
We've got people saying, "Oh, I'm probably going to be done watching WWE."
Every single time.
And I'm like, sit down. Shut up. Stop it. Stop.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Like, you're hopping in front of a microphone and you're mad as shit and turning that camera on, and you are speaking from a place, obviously, of fandom, passion. I get it. Sami Zayn, I've met the man. I have a picture of me, him, and my son in my son's room on a canvas. He hung it up. It's one of my son's greatest memories. And even I'm looking at this and I'm like, yep, makes sense. Did you not hear the crowd? The crowd should have told you something.
Yeah.
The people who are mad that Sami Zayn lost this title did you watch the match with the sound off? Did you mute the match? Or are you just emotional? Tell me, it's one of the two. You're either overly emotional or you watch the match with the sound off. Okay? That crowd erupted. Insane. The moment was right. Just like the moment was right for Sami. And here's the thing. Newsflash. Here's a secret. Come closer. Voice, come a little closer, man. Come here. Everybody, household, come closer. I'm going to tell you guys a secret. Sami can win it back.
No way.
He can win the title. He can do it again. He can hold that. Now that he's won it once, it's going to be easier for him to win it a second time. Guys, stop. Stop it. We're leading into SummerSlam, a 2-night SummerSlam. Sami can hold it again. And there's a bigger story to tell with Sami losing the title. Have you guys not paid attention to social media?
That's the issue.
That is the issue. That is the issue. But if you guys see the videos, the content that WWE's putting out, Sami is slated for a crash out of epic proportions. There's a bigger story in him losing the title. And then on the other side, there's the people saying that CM Punk has become everything that he hated. He's now the old guy part-timer that can come in and take an opportunity and win the title whenever he wants to. You know what? You're right. He is. And he did. What are you going to do about it? Did you hear the crowd? I'm going to say it again. Did you hear the crowd? They did a great job of protecting Cody in that night. And when I say they did a great job of protecting Cody in that night, they knew that Cody was going to get booed out of the damn building. Especially if he beat Sammy, Chicago would have ate him alive. Up until CM Punk came out to save the day, which is what we all thought was going to happen, is that Cody would beat Sammy, crowd gets pissed, they save the night by CM Punk coming and making his intentions clear that he wants to face Cody at SummerSlam. Instead, they did something different, taking a swing. They took a swing. They took a swing by putting the title on Sammy in the first place. You would have been more mad if he never touched the title. He touched it. Sometimes I just don't get it, man. Sometimes I just don't get it. I'm gonna get to these comments, but I gotta get my point across here. He touched the title, y'all. It happened. He can touch it again. The story is bigger that he lost it. CM Punk is everything that he has hated now. Cody, they protected him. They told a great story within the night where Gunther assaulted him while Sami Zayn stood there and did nothing. While Sami Zayn was like, yeah, I got an easy night off. This is about to be an easy night for me. But they strung the story along through the night that Cody wasn't going to make it. He wasn't coming. It was no answer. So now the question is, do we see Cody on SmackDown? Because we know we're going to see Punk on SmackDown. Now he's the champion over there. I thought they did a good job. I liked Maxine joining the Vision. I think it's a good breath of fresh air for her career and something different for them. And hopefully they can get some momentum going. They got to be careful with Maxine because her jumping in Theory's arms and making out with him, it was low key giving some vibes of Liv Morgan, and we don't want to step on that. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's try to, for now, we got to try to separate Maxine from everybody else. And I thought the heel turn was great. I love the move for her. I just thought the jumping in the arms and making out with him, I was like, hold on, wait a minute. Liv did that. Let's just try to set ourselves apart. That's all I was saying on that. Gable's music is horrible, and they they got to do something about this, man. I mean, you've got something. He just came off like what many people are calling the match of the year, maybe match of the decade, and everything's kind of moving for him with the apology tour that he's on with the Luchas and with the Luchadors and his his former friends or whatever, the Alpha Academy. And like the music really is truly not complimentary at all. I mean, it's not complimentary at all. Once again, pretty good Monday Night Raw. I thought LA Knight made a good turn last night with his promo. And I thought Seth Rollins had a turn himself. And it was a bad turn. Bad. Last week, he gave what I thought was one of the promos of his career to Roman Reigns, setting up their match. Then the week after that is just rambling. Nonsensical rambling. Not nonsensical, but it was like he was saying the same thing over and over again, and they left him out there with the mic for so long. It was almost like the reason that people were excited that LA Knight came out is because they're like, oh my God, finally this guy stopped talking. Anybody else except for Seth Rollins talking right now. But LA Knight delivered a great promo. He was straight to the point, got to what he needed to get to, made his point across, and it was a little bit juicier than the promos he's given us in the past. All in all, I thought it was a good Monday Night Raw. I give it an 8 out of 10, voice.
I can respect that one.
So Definitely. That's my thoughts on Monday Night Raw. Before we get to this tournament, let's hit the chat. Let's get some good comments here. Let's see what they're talking about because the comments are going crazy. We got Nightwing saying Punk always says he is the best in the world on Raw. He proved it. Yes, he did. He came out after being off for 9 months and put on a really good match. I believe Sami Zayn is one of those guys that could put on a 5-star match with the broom, but Punk is no slouch himself. Tony says SmackDown needed a spark, and CM Punk is it. Yes, they did. I think the last couple of episodes of SmackDown have not been bad, but I do think they could benefit from having Punk there. Fightins says they had a chance to elevate Sammy, and I feel like they sent him back down the slide. That's what a lot of people in many different circles are saying, is that this was just for a moment. And listen, if this was just for a moment, can we all just be happy that Sami Zayn had that moment? I mean, he had it. Nightwing says, "Do you think with how Gable is doing this Lucha apology tour, it's only a matter of time until he snaps and goes on a rampage?" I think maybe down the line, but right now they're trying to maintain the babyface status outside of so close to outside of that mass versus mass match. And Ribshot says, Tony, you know who isn't the spark? I can only imagine who Ribshot's talking about. I can only imagine. I'm sure Tony knows who he's talking about. You, and he says, yes, I do. It might be one certain Mozart of professional wrestling. So,
Dude's got the most heat from this show.
oh, he gets all of the heat here
He's
from
getting
this show.
European heat.
Oh my gosh, getting it from over there in the UK. But listen, man. Okay, let's jump into this faction tournament. Like I said, we've got 16 factions here. We're going to break it down. Before we do voice, you guys started to talk. You and Kevin started that talk yesterday. You see the tournament bracket that you just put up there for me, you, and the household to see. Where are you at, man? How was, I'm not, we're going to break it down, but like, was this hard for you? Was it difficult? What were your thoughts on the bracket and how it broke down?
I mean, the only difficult thing I seen on it was, like we talked about with the DX and Nation in the first round with each other. Outside of that, I think I can do fairly well with this. Honestly, mine's, oof. The one that I wish was on this, and I'm not seeing it, was the Brood.
Oh yeah, yep. Brood not on there, but we got the 16 that are on there. There was teams that, because I almost did, like I said earlier, I almost did a 32 faction
I don't need that
tournament.
many teams.
But
That's
yeah, we
way
would
too
have been,
many
yeah, we would have
teams.
been here. We would have been here for 2 hours. So I reduced it down to 16. So okay, let's go ahead and jump into the bracket here. Let's jump into this first round, and you guys can join us here for sure. So if you guys have thoughts, we can go through it round by round, but we're gonna keep it tight because we do have a second half of the episode that I'm gonna break down to you right before a commercial break and what we're gonna be doing. So okay, round one, the number one seed versus the 16th seed, NWO versus the Dangerous Alliance. I had the NWO. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, come on, man.
it's the NWO, man.
This is yeah, that's a silly
Dangerous
one.
Dangerous Alliance was cool, but come on, man. It's
Yeah,
the NWO. So we don't got to spend a whole lot of time on that one. The number 8 seed and the number 9 seed, the Hart Foundation going head to head with the Wyatt family. This one's a little tougher.
yeah. Both had tragic losses in the
Yep.
family. Both
Great runs as tag champions between both of them.
true.
One of their
Uh,
one of their main players became a world heavyweight champion in each one of them.
yeah. Um, Memorable.
Both of
They
them.
both teams are very cemented in WWE, WWF catalogs and just great matches, memories, and things like that. But for me, as a fan and as somebody who's loved wrestling since I was a child, it has to be the Hart Foundation for
I was gonna
me.
say it's the Hart Foundation, man. Huge. I'm a
Yeah,
huge Bret Hart fan. I loved Owen. You had Davy Boy weaving in and out. It just it's great faction. Of course, Neidhart. You know what I mean. The Anvil. It's the Hart Foundation. I mean, wow, wow! Look at the chat. Everybody say
Yeah.
Heart Foundation.
And I
I
know
love that.
rib shot, but I gotta host the fucking show, so I have to add
We
extra
have to
shit
have
into it. Come
content
on,
here,
man.
Rib Shot.
My
Come
balls
on.
don't need busted this much.
We love your Rib Shot. We love you,
Yes,
man.
we
Most
do.
definitely. But yes, we all agree across the board. It's the Heart Foundation. I thought it would be a little bit harder, but the household has spoken. All right,
Yeah.
let's go to the number 4 seed going up against the number 13 seed, Bullet Club versus the Judgment Day.
See, now this one to me is difficult because the Bullet Club is man, on some in some circles the Bullet Club is the end all be all when it comes to factions.
Yeah.
Uh and the Judgment Day though, they have done some great stuff.
Yes, they have. There, that you cannot deny that at all. I
And
mean,
you can't kill them. They're
you
still
can.
around.
There,
Uh
that's the little faction that could, bro.
exactly. But here's the thing that I go to. I have never sought out a Judgment Day clip. It's been presented in front of me.
Yeah.
I have sought out many Bullet Club clips. Bullet Club.
Yeah. I also am gonna say Bullet Club, and here's my reasoning why. I listen. I for a quick second, I want to argue the Judgment Day. I'm not picking the Judgment Day voice. I'm not picking the Judgment Day. I just want to argue the Judgment Day real quick because I do believe in the Judgment Day. I do believe that they have that longevity. This faction's been around for quite a number of years, and it's produced a lot of talent. Whether it be Damian Priest securing a World Heavyweight Championship under the Judgment Day banner, Finn Balor finding purpose on the main roster under the Judgment Day banner, Rhea Ripley becoming a World Heavyweight Champion and a megastar under the Judgment Day banner, uh, Dominic Mysterio finding stardom as a top heel under the Judgment Day banner. JD McDonough finding television time and a purpose and at some point becoming a tag team champion under the Judgment Day banner. Carlito finding television time in the latter years of his WWE career under the Judgment Day banner. Our truth, keeping things light, keeping things committed, keeping things comedic, that is, under the Judgment Day banner. Roxanne Perez, somebody who we've thought, who I, when Roxanne Perez came to the main roster, I was concerned because it's like, she's so good, and she came in, and I was like, dang, she's gonna get lost on the main roster, but she didn't get lost she didn't get lost in the shuffle on the main event roster because she was the Judgment Day banner. So
Right.
of course Raquel Rodriguez as well, and hopefully she finds her spot as well and finds success. But my point is the Judgment Day has produced champions, it has produced long lasting characters. But for me to say all that is to say this: it's the Bullet Club, man. It's the
Yeah.
Bullet Club. I mean, come on. AJ Styles, Prince Devitt, Tamatanga, you know, uh, just so many Bad Luck Fale, you know,
Yeah.
like AJ Styles in the mix, Kenny Omega in the mix, the Elite, the Bullet Club, iconic. You can see people. I've seen people wear Bullet Club gear and they're not even like wrestling fans. They just thought the shirt was cool.
Yeah.
They
Well,
think the name Bullet Club is cool. And of course, everything that is produced and like the notorious group that they were in Japan, it's Bullet Club.
yeah. It has to be. It's worldwide. I
Yep.
understand Judgment Day is too, but at the end of the day, Bullet Club,
Yeah.
like you said, goes into factions that don't even have wrestling on their radar.
Yep. I'm just I respect the Judgment Day, but they're not the Bullet Club. All right,
Yeah.
let's move on to the next part of the bracket here in the first round, and that's the Bloodline and the New Day. This one was hard for me on a personal level because of the love that I have for the New Day. But for me, it's the bloodline, man.
Yeah. Honestly, it just goes right back to what you said, the personal love. I mean, I have all three of them in a pop figure set next to me of the New Day, and I mean that I have a daughter that's the only real connection we have to wrestling is her actual like excitement for the New Day. So, but with that being said, it has to be the bloodline. Bloodline has told the best story. I
Yeah,
mean, the New Day, we made our personal connection because it was a different. It was a group that was we were supposed to make personal connections with as
yeah.
wrestling fans. That's what it was designed to do. They did that. Absolutely love all three of them, and would love to see another iteration of them somewhere.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with you there. I would love to see them come together. And I see what Ribshot is saying here. He sees them more of a tag team, not a faction.
Yeah,
I think I saw them more of a faction when they were, a 3-man group there. Especially when they were kind of surrounded around Kofi to be, world heavyweight champion and whatnot.
100%.
But the bloodline, man, I mean, you had Roman with the 1300 plus day reign. It did a lot of rib shot. A lot of stuff happened under the bloodline.
God damn it, Ripshot.
I love him, man. I swear I do.
You,
I'm
man, get in the studio and make a cartoon, damn it.
seriously, man. Man, I'd love to talk to this cat. But
Yeah,
you had the Usos who became longest reigning tag team champions out of that. And then all the, sub factions that the bloodline created, the MFTs and whatnot. Solo coming in and being the enforcer, and, Jacob Fatu coming in. And the story is still being told of the bloodline. Roman Reigns and the Bloodline really saved the WWE in a time when they were in serious trouble around the pandemic. The Bloodline storyline fed families. I'm gonna go with the Bloodline.
yeah. It's a it's a no-brainer really on this one. I mean, personal connections can only get you so far when you have to look at the reality of what we're trying to do here. And if we're going to be fair and balanced, yeah, it has to be the bloodline.
I agree with that because when I'm picking on this, I'm not basing it off of personal enjoyment. I'm basing it off of impact to pop culture, impact to the business, accomplishments, things that they've touched. So, like, yeah, there's a lot that goes into it. But I will say this, though. I do feel like that if I was basing this tournament off of personal enjoyment, some things would be a little different.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. And I think that bleeds into the next one we have to go into because I think that goes right with that, what
Oh
you're
man.
saying.
Yeah, man. So we're jumping into the other side of the bracket on round one.
Fucking me, man.
Didn't even mean to do this shit.
Yeah.
D Generation X in the slotted in the third seed against the 14th seed, the Nation of Domination. Whoops.
Yep. That's a big fucking oops.
Oh god.
Oof. House, with what you just said about personal picks and it would be different, it would be different because if it was personal picks, I love Degeneration X. Don't
Yeah.
get me wrong,
Yeah.
but I absolutely loved the story of the nation.
The
The Nation
Nation
of
of Domination,
Domination
man.
was fantastic. They were the thorn in everybody's side. And the man that was at the helm of it was one of my like he was a legend when he was with us. Ron Simmons was a legend.
Yeah.
When he was in a ring doing Ron Simmons, Farouk, whatever you wanted to call him, whatever character work he was doing, he was a legend. I absolutely love the nation. But we're talking about this in a reality. Like you said, who touched pop culture more? Where were they? Degenerate. You could not get away from anything from Degeneration X. It was so good. They did blackface and nobody really said
I know
shit
nobody said
about it,
nothing.
dude. Nobody said shit about
What
it,
a
really.
time. What a time.
Exactly. So, again, you have to look at the whole sphere of Degeneration X, and they continued into other generations. Nation didn't. We've been calling for another Nation of Domination because we think it would be fantastic if they had another faction like that, but they don't. They have had multiples of DX.
Yeah, it DX stands the test of time. I mean, you
I
still
don't even
see,
want to look at this chat.
you know, they all
I'm
picked DX.
afraid. I'm afraid.
They all picked
Okay.
DX, man.
Okay, good.
Yeah, so it's crazy because like I mean they're iconic. Like we talk about the NWO. This was WWF's answer to the NWO.
Yeah.
And they needed something, right? Like NWO was cracking, like cracking, and like you needed something to offset that because like we're gonna be checking out a little bit later on in the episode in '96 when Hulk Hogan turned heel at Bash at the Beach 30 years ago yesterday, it changed the landscape of the wrestling world.
It
And
did.
WWF had to find a way to punch back. That was
Oh, and
DX. And it
and
was a
they
great
did.
punch back.
They did.
That was a haymaker of a punch back with DX. Definite impact that transcended generations. Nation of Domination couldn't do that. It's DX.
Mm-mm. I'm
All
with
right,
you,
all right.
man.
Yeah, yeah.
DX.
DX by far. All right. Let's get this one's a little bit because here's the thing. This next one is almost like generational in a way. I feel like I know what this chat is going to say, but I feel like that if we ask this question to a generation behind us, the answer might be different. That is WWE's evolution with indies and of course now AEW's The Elite.
Mm-mm. Well,
Elite still around.
Elite is still around, but Evolution was fucking storytelling.
Yes, it was.
Evolution has one of the most looked back moments with Batista. I mean, come on, man. The Evolution to me, put Flair aside, and speaking of the guys who who else were there, you have Trips who was taking over the Ric Flair being the leader, the mentor, and you had two hungry guys that were just ready to eat that up. Any lessons that those guys were ready to hand down.
Yeah.
And it was I'm gonna have to pick Evolution. And the reasoning, and I'll shorten this up so you can get to it, House. But the
Sure.
reasoning is because all of those guys had a link to the previous generations of wrestlers and the wrestlers before that. And the stories that they were able to tell in that, it it was big. There was a lot of people who either hated it or they absolutely loved it in its time. And that, to me, that was needle moving. And plus, we got to see punk ass Randy Orton as punk ass Randy Orton.
Yeah. Yeah, I liked that iteration of Randy Orton because that's exactly what he came off as is a punk ass. And it fit the role. Like, here's the thing. Evolution was so good in their time because it almost felt like this is going to sound weird, but it was like they were the four horsemen without trying to be the four
Yeah,
horsemen.
yeah.
You know
And
what
I'm
I'm
a,
saying?
oh, I know. Because that's who I compared him to back in the day.
Like it didn't feel like if you remember TNA's faction Fortune, it felt like they were like, we're pushing this that this is the four horsemen. We want you to think this is the four horsemen. Because hey, look, Ric Flair's here. He's part of look, he's here. This is like the four horsemen. There's a four in it. It's four chin. Like it felt like in your face to where Evolution was like, Yeah, we're four horsemen, kind of, but like we're cool. We're not pushing it in your face. This is something a little bit different. But if it
Hmm.
gives you vibes of four horsemen, then cool. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying with that one. Uh, it they they were the evolution of the Four Horsemen.
Yeah,
What we would expect the Four Horsemen to go into without calling it the Four Horsemen. Uh, and it was just so good. Some of those stories that they told between the faction itself. I
yeah,
remember just watching Trips getting pissed off at everybody in the ring, and he's just all bandaged up from whatever
yeah,
fight he had, and they're all just looking at him like, we could just like snap and beat the shit out of you right now.
yeah, yeah.
I loved it. I loved it.
There was a great faction, man. Now, listen. I do want to give the elite their love, though. I truly do.
Oh yeah.
Seriously, I'm not joking. Cause like just like Fightins highlighted, they did create a whole wrestling company. And I get what Rib is saying. They're pretty much just like a spinoff of the Bullet Club. He's 100% right. But
Uh huh.
like, here's the thing, bro. The elite, they are influential on a generation behind us. I'm telling you, bro, there's cats in their 20s and early 30s that swear by the elite. And you got to think about it, bro.
God.
We were
Oh
we were we were watching the elite, we were watching the elite probably in what? Our early 30s or whatever. I think that's
yeah.
yeah, early 30s, late 20s. Late 20s, early 30s is when I really caught up to the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega and everything like that. So like we've been watching them or iterations of them in the Bullet Club for a while. A lot of these youngsters, they were young watching them. So they were
True.
highly influenced by them. I know this sounds crazy and whatnot. I know it sounds crazy, but there's probably some younger kids out there that look at the elite and they're like, "Oh, that's our DX."
No, you're right. But
And it's
that's the
I'm not saying
evolution
they're
of it.
anything like DX, but they're that
No.
generation. To them, that's what they liked. You know what I'm
They get
saying?
the same feelings we got from DX from the Elite. Yeah, that's just how it should be, and I'm super glad it was. This one was a little tricky for me because I guess I went more with nostalgia, but dude, the evolution was everywhere when they
Oh
had their
yeah,
run.
they
And
were
then
doing
that
their
spawned
thing.
Batista's whole, like, you could almost say the evolution run was what got Hollywood looking at Batista.
Yeah,
So
that was a turning point.
I just have to go with that. I wanted to pick the Elite, but
I, I
if
I
I'm
just
going,
wanted to make a case for the elite. That's all.
no, they have a great case. They really do. And like Fightin said, they started their own company.
Yep.
But some WWE snobs will be like, well, the Evolution didn't have to start their own company. They just,
Yeah. That
you
they
know,
just were.
so,
They
but
just were.
eh, just stick around for the rest of the tournament. You
Hey,
might be surprised.
it's getting hot. This tournament's getting hot. We're gonna jump to the number 2 seed and the number 15 seed. The four horsemen face off against the corporation.
Oh, this one's ridiculous to me. It's Four Horsemen.
It's the four horsemen.
Yeah, this one. I don't even have to say anything. People know the legend of the Four Horsemen and the Corporation. And if you're putting those two up against each other, Four Horsemen destroy this one.
Listen, the corporation was great for the time that the corporation was needed.
Yeah,
The corporation was important in their time. The four
100%.
the four horsemen transcends generations. We're still talking. There's still people to this day talking about the four horsemen as the greatest faction of all time,
Yeah.
and I'm talking about people who watched wrestling at that time, and we're talking fightings. We're talking about if we're talking like when I talk about the Judgment Day, where I'm including all iterations as a total as a whole.
Yeah. And I can understand exactly where you're coming from on this one,
Oh yeah,
But at the end of the day, no matter who you have in those spots, this is all that matters.
This is
I
this is
threw this
this is
up my
important.
entire middle school and high school to friends.
This is
Like,
what matters.
exactly. So if you're going up against a corporation, it's easy. It's easy. Like,
Oh yeah, it's
when it comes to the four horsemen, now we can do others and there might be an argument, but for this, no. No.
yeah, yeah. I agree with you. Uh, I just think that the Four Horsemen was just so important for their time. Like I was talking earlier with Zay, and he was like, I'll say this. I'm not gonna go too much. I'm not gonna go too far into it because we're gonna get there. But I will say this. I got I've got the Horsemen going far. And he said, "Oh man, you're really picking that geezer faction." And I'm like, "Yes." Because I've seen what they did at the time that they did it. Go
Yeah.
back and watch it. Go back and watch it. And OG will tell you, OG will straight up tell you. He says 85 to 89 was peak Four Horsemen. It's crazy. And then we got Rib here. Oh, I like what Rib is saying here. Don't sleep on the corporation. They were hated and led by the greatest heel in the history of the business, Vincent Kennedy McMahon, VKM himself, feuded with arguably the most popular two wrestlers of all time, Crazy Faction. This is what I'm talking about, Voice.
No,
This is why I did this in tournament style, because that's a great, great point by Ribshot.
it is. 100%. But nerds like us, guys, who are all in the household, who are at this house party for the WCW watch along, we're the ones who are like, hey, man, that corporation, man, if you think about it and you go back and you really think when we're going up against a regular viewing wrestling fan who would know the name The Four Horsemen, they would have at least heard it, things like that. They don't know. You got to dive deep to get into corporation type. But you are 100% right. I mean, that corporation faction had the wrestling world turned upside down
Is it
at the
important
time they
faction?
ran. It is. But we're talking about the four horsemen.
I mean, come on. Once again, Ric Flair, Arn Anderson, Ole Anderson, Tully Blanchard with J.J. Dillon as the manager, and then all the surrounding members that came in and out at that time. I mean, it's an iconic faction. I remember watching in the later years when we had the reformed version of the Four Horsemen, and it was Dean Malenko in the mix, and Chris Benoit was in the mix. And you had Arn Anderson in the ring saying, "You guys want the Horsemen back? Well, we never promised that we was gonna always wear the white hats." And of course, we know the history of the Four Horsemen. They are not good guys. Get the job done. But man, that's the biggest thing, is that they got that job done. The Four Horsemen, important faction. I'm picking the Horsemen.
Yeah. Yeah, we got to go that route.
All
Um,
All right, let's hop in the chat real quick and then we'll go to the next one. We got Rib. He's saying Austin was better on the mic than Flair. So was The Rock. So were a lot of people, actually. Ric Flair talked more nonsense than the Ultimate Warrior. Now, the Ultimate Warrior talked a lot of nonsense, and Ric Flair talked a lot of nonsense too. And I'm not saying Ric Flair was the greatest promo, but I'm saying a Ric Flair promo would make you would get you motivated to want to run through a wall. That's for sure.
yeah. Yeah. It was just the energy the dude captivated. And plus
Big energy.
him being horrible on the mic and being so grandiose with his gestures and his lifestyle, it kind of fed more into, if you didn't like Ric Flair, something you could argue against him. Back in my day, Ric Flair was the dude would rip his clothes off. He had a fucking heart
Oh, he
attack
was,
in the
yeah. He'd
goddamn
be in his
ring.
he'd be in his boxers in the ring.
And plus, you put Mean Gene next to anybody who is as animated as Ric Flair, and I'm hooked. I'm a fan. I'm buying tickets just to watch you cut promos.
Yes, man. Yes. All right. We'll get to this chat in a little bit here, but we got to move on because we're still in the first round. We're at the end of the first round, though. That's the Shield versus the Don Callis family.
Well, hopefully I gain a fan in fighting's one in this one, and I'm going. This is good. Okay, this is me going against all the things that we said about how we pick, and I am personally picking the Don Callis family.
Ooh, okay, okay.
It's still going. I know the Shield, and I know the chat's just getting ready to go. You're an idiot, lightening me up, but I personally like the Don Callis family, and I'm going off of this because I have seen Cyrus the Virus evolve into Don Callis.
Yeah.
And I always thought back then he needed some type of faction in a promotion that where he could have more control. He could actually put out the what he envisions as this. Look, a lot of the people that are in the Don Callis family and who have been in the Don Callis family are legit killers. Like their ring work is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
I personally love the Don Callis family. So that's who I'm picking. I don't care.
Sure.
I wasn't that big on the Shield. I know
See,
everybody loves Shield, but I wasn't.
See, I was big on the Shield. I like the Don Callis family, which is why I put them on this list here because I think that when the dust settles, we're gonna be looking at the Don Callis family in a different light. I truly do believe that because it's hard to see the full potential and the full scope of the Don Callis family when they're still at their heyday. They're still at their peak.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They have great members. They have Kevin Knight. They have Okada. They have Kyle Fletcher. So much great talent that's already in that faction right now, and they're holding gold. So I'm going to say Shield,
Yeah.
but, but the jury is still out on the Don Callis family. This one almost doesn't feel fair a little bit because the story of the Don Callis family is still being told.
Well, you could this is the one that you could have interchanged and brought in either the Brood or we could have even done an ECW, the
Or we could have
Flock.
put in
We could
Raven's
have done
Flock,
we could have
in there.
done something like that. But where it's at, that's who I pick. I see we got young boy Bryce lighting
Young
me up. He is
boy.
not happy with my pick. Ribs. He said at the beginning of this one, both are shit. So,
He's got no
uh,
pick. I'm I'm going with the Shield. It's not really based off like personal enjoyment really. Even though I love the Shield and I was there for their debut at Survivor Series in Indianapolis, but they were ass kickers in their time. They ran the show for the time that they were
oh,
there. I
100%.
mean, they absolutely ran shit. And they all went on to become world heavyweight champions, tag team champions, this and that. They pretty much those three men pretty much run the industry right now. Whether you like John Moxley or not, you could he's running. He's one of the three running the industry. Yeah, Undisputed Era was another good honorable mention. OG. I think that that was great. The Shield had one of the greatest turns of all time. Funny that you say that, Fightins. They did have one of the greatest turns of all time, but they didn't have the greatest turn of all time. We're going to talk about that on the second half of the episode. But let's breeze through these quarterfinals here now that we've kind of talked about everybody, all the factions here. Rib shots.
Yeah, I know. Ripshot's on a whole new level. He's all
Yes.
jacked up on Mountain Dew, ready to rock and roll.
I love that guy, man. I know I keep saying it, but I do. He's just got so many zingers out there,
Yeah.
bro. All
Check out
right.
our website. You can get links directly to Ribshot and all his content.
On our friends link on our
Yes,
website.
you're
Go
going
to
to
our
thoroughly
website.
enjoy him.
Oh, he's great. All right. So we've in the quarterfinals, NWO and the Hart Foundation. I'm going NWO.
You have to go NWO.
Gotta go NWO.
When it breaks. I mean, just like how we break it down to where we get more serious on like how far they went. NWO.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, next quarterfinals bracket, Bullet Club and the Bloodline. Whew, this is a hard one.
Bloodline's still going.
Yeah, and man, they produced some of the best television, but Bullet Club, iconic faction. Oh, God. Bloodline. Bloodline.
Yeah,
Oh, that
yeah.
one was so hard.
Regretfully, yes.
Yeah,
We're
I gotta
gonna.
go Bloodline. I gotta go
Yeah,
Bloodline. Okay. Ooh. No matter which way you turn it, you're getting Triple H in there somewhere. You got DX and Evolution.
you got to go DX.
I
They
went
did more
DX.
in sales and longevity.
Yeah, longevity. That's important, man. That's important.
A
All
hundred
right.
percent.
All right. For you, it's the Four Horsemen and the Don Callis family. For me, it's the Four Horsemen and the Shield. I'm saying the Four Horsemen.
Yeah, I gotta say Four Horsemen over Callus, and it just goes back to we haven't seen the peak of the Callus family yet. They're still
Bingo.
going.
Bingo. Okay, now we're hitting the semifinals here. We have got the Bloodline and the NWO.
Mhm.
Woo, woo, brother. I'm going NWO. I'm going NWO. I gotta go NWO. That impact is undeniable. Love the Bloodline. A lot of great TV. Roman Reigns, one of the greatest of all time. This one wasn't easy, but damn it, I got to go NWO.
Yeah, it's NWO.
That one seemed hard for you. I didn't even know.
It,
I like. Are you? Is it? Is it
it's because the
because?
story's not done.
Yeah.
We're
Okay, that
only in
makes
the
sense.
sixth inning of the Bloodline. This could
You're right.
ultimately turn out to be bigger. We don't know what's next. So,
True.
but NWO still people are
We
still
knew what happened with that. We watched the NWO from the beginning chapter to the end chapter.
Ripshot. What the fuck you know about a country mile? You ain't know
He
nothing about
said
no
a
country
country
mile.
mile. What is it? Do they do that there in the UK?
Yeah, isn't that like a I don't know
Is
country
it a
meter
kilometer? Is a
kilometer?
meter?
I don't know.
Kilometer?
I don't know what the fuck
Tell
they
us.
do over there.
Educate us. All right. While we're getting that figured out, we're going to the other semifinals. That is going to be DX and the Four Horsemen.
Well, everybody's had their peak in this one, and everybody's done what they can. And
DX and the Four Horsemen.
it's
Man, it's so
it's got to
hard.
be.
It's just hard. DX or the Four Horsemen. DX has the cultural impact.
True,
They have the cultural impact.
but I've lived in the South. Four Horsemen had an impact down there too, my
Yeah,
friend.
I don't
But
disagree with you.
DX worldwide is bigger than what we have with the Four Horsemen. I
Yeah,
mean,
I see
Nightwing,
the chat here.
I'm almost there.
I see the chat here. I think I'm gonna swerve on this one and I'm gonna go DX. My
Yeah,
finals is NWO and DX.
yeah. It that's it's got to be it's got to be. Yeah, exactly. Ribshot
Rib says, yeah.
worldwide. You,
This is getting good. I'm loving the interaction in the chat for this tournament is just incredible.
dude,
Damn, it's incredible.
it is, and it would be so awesome if we had the Horsemen versus the NWO in the finals.
Oh my
The
god, you're right.
ultimate
The
WCW.
ultimate WCW. But I had to go with my gut here.
Yeah,
I
what
had
Rib
to,
Shot
voice.
said. Yeah, what Rib Shot said it wraps it up all the way. And if we're gonna stick to that, I know there's been a couple where I've made my personal choice, but on this one I got to go with merch and just overall collective knowing who they are. DX.
Yeah, yeah. And I hear what OG is saying because he said it in on shows before, and he's not wrong. I want to be clear saying he is not wrong. And he says without the horsemen, there would be no NWO or DX. He's right.
True. But
He's
Tony, let me ask you this: if me and you took a trip on the other side of the world, and we asked 100 different people that live there, who do you think they're going to know more?
Yep.
It's going to be DX.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah,
going to
that's
tell us to suck it rather than throw up the four fingers.
yep. And trust me, I love the horse. Okay, all right,
Oh, me too.
let's get to the finals here, and then we're gonna take our break because we have a second half of the episode we got to get to. Um, for me and you in rib shot, uh, we our finals are DX versus NWO. For everybody else in the chat, it is NWO and the Four Horsemen. All right, voice.
Okay. So we're going on Impact. We're going on Worldwide. Both factions known worldwide.
Yes.
One faction left before the other faction, which would be the NWO, because they got bought out. It was done, over
Yeah.
with. Now we're on to DX was still, I think they were still going a little bit. It wasn't much, but it was still green and black. And then brought back. NWO, though, they had their own video games. People
WCW
still
versus NWO Revenge. WCW versus NWO World Tour.
people still throw up the NWO sign. I have to I have to think about it in a way of there was when they went overseas there was overseas NWO members.
Yeah.
There wasn't overseas DX members.
Nope.
Even though they destroyed the company that I absolutely adore because of their bloated fucking paychecks, I have to go NWO.
Bro, NWO gear is still fashionable to this day. Let's put world championships and stuff aside or whatever. You can, yeah, they had their own pay per view. They had their own shit pay per view, as Nightwing said.
And they
NWO
had it.
Japan.
Yeah, they had NWO Japan. There wasn't DX Japan.
Nope. And dude, like, you had, bro. Okay, let's look at it like this too. What about all the groups that were spin-offs of the NWO?
LWO,
LWO,
BWO.
BWO, NWO Black and Red and Black, the Wolf Pack.
Yup.
Like NWO, NWO ended up being a bloated faction of just the boys club is what it ended up really being. And
Yeah.
everybody was in the boys club at some point.
Yeah.
But listen, I think bigger industry impact out of the two was NWO. It helped flip the Monday Night Wars, turn Hogan heel, which we're going to talk about on the other side, and made WCW feel more dangerous. And it just pushed towards a cooler, more reality based type presentation that DX was trying to duplicate.
Yeah.
Hold on, wait a minute now. They were moving towards a more dangerous, edgy wrestling style that felt more cool and reality based. It was a game changer, it was a pop culture phenomenon. And even though what we said earlier, DX had to hit a haymaker, or WWF had to hit a haymaker and swung back with DX, and they did do that. They did do that. NWO had great. I mean, no matter what we say, DX had Shawn Michaels and Triple H as the clear major world champions. The NWO had Hogan as a world champion, Nash as a world champion, Savage, Sting, Luger, all part of NWO at some point. You know what I'm saying? Bret Hart. You know what I'm saying? Like the Great Muta. The Great Muta was in that mix. You had the Great Muta. You
Look
got
at
fighting
what
saying, can the greatest faction of all time have Disco Inferno in it? I guess it does.
on this show. Yes, fighting. Yes.
I guess it does. But yeah, I'm gonna go with NWO, man. I just think
Yeah.
at the end of the day, NWO changed everything.
It did. It did. And I understand where OG Tony's coming from with nostalgia for the Four Horsemen and everything.
Totally
Because
get it.
honestly, without their rampant behaviors and their over the top actions, we wouldn't have where DX and NWO went. So you gotta definitely. Oh my God, I seen his name.
Oh my God, no!
We have gone so long without his
He's
name being
back.
brought up.
He's back.
Yes.
It's Scott Norton.
Look, guys, there's so
Scott
many
fucking Norton.
NWO members. We could do a whole show on who was an NWO member, but at the end of the day though, we enjoyed both factions
Oh
when we
yeah.
were growing up, and it was a fun time in the world of wrestling. But at the end of the day, NWO is for life. And we were
Ever
told that
for
at the
life.
beginning. So it's got to be NWO, not just because this is the WCW show, but because if you break it down like we did, there's a huge argument for NWO to be the top.
Absolutely. I will say this though, that they kind of teetered. They were kind of teetering to where as far as like you could say that they're equals in this way. The celebrity support. I mean, I'd be cool. I'd be cool having Tyson on my side if I'm on DX, but I'd also be cool with having Dennis Rodman on my side if I'm the NWO. Both badasses, both legends, both of them in those respective factions. But I'm sure Mike Tyson been hitting the head so much, I'm not even sure he remembers being in DX. But if you ask Dennis Rodman will tell you to this day that NWO is for life. That's enough
It
right
is.
there.
Yeah, this was a great bracket.
I
I
had a
think
blast.
what Fighting's one saying, I think this will be our next bracket.
Woo! I like it, Fightins. Fightins, I love where your head is at. I love it. And I'm
So let
loving this chat, man.
Yeah, we'll put a pin in that one, Fighting's one. So just when we do it, just know you're credited
Yes.
for getting us that for our next one.
Yeah.
Uh, and we got Big Glenn chiming in.
You know who I am, but you don't know why I'm here. Oh
Well,
man, we got Ripshot saying Hogan, Nash, Hall, David Flair.
oh, fuck Ripshot.
He's on a
Rip,
roll, brother.
Ripshot, we need you for an interview.
Oh
Please
my God, please.
hit
That
us
dude
up
is
with it,
he's
man.
yeah, he's entertaining as hell. All right, man. Let's roll. Let's keep this thing going because we gotta hit a break and pay some bills. But on the other side of this break, we just talked NWO, NWO being our number one faction on the tournament here. Now we gotta see the formation of the NWO voice because 30 years ago yesterday, July 7th, 1996, WCW Bash at the Beach. Little did we know as youngsters that the face of professional wrestling was going to change forever when the ultimate good guy, the American hero, the man who told us to eat our vitamins, drink our milk, say our prayers, turned. We're going to talk about Hulk Hogan and the iconic heel turn that is yet to be matched to this day, when he turned against WCW to be the third man and join the NWO. We're going to talk about that iconic moment on the other side of this break.
Hello, everyone. It's the Pope Elijah Burke, founder and president of the Love Alive charity. I wanted to take this brief moment to share with you my charity's continued humanitarian efforts to positively impact the impoverished communities in and around the greater Jacksonville area. This cannot be possible without your support. If you'd be so kind, please take a moment to visit our website, love-alive.org, to learn more about the charity and its mission. Also, feel free to donate to our 501c3 organization that operates off of the donation of the public which is you. Whether that be by website or via Cash App, $1 help makes a difference in the lives of others as we continue to positively influence many people by being the change that we wish to see in the world.
Hey guys, it's the executive producer of the In Your House podcast, Alakan the Con Man House, here to tell you on this commercial break to like and subscribe to In Your House on YouTube. Follow us on Facebook at the In Your House Wrestling Podcast. Subscribe on Twitch at Team IYH. And remember to follow us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And leave a review and 5-star rating. We thank you for your continued support. It all helps for us to stay charted and continue to give you that work. Hey guys, welcome back to In Your House. And if you're watching us on the video version, hey, you're hanging out with us. You're not hearing us on the podcast anymore because the first half is for the podcast version and the video version, but now we're exclusive, baby. And one of those reasons is because we have some great sponsorships, and hopefully we're continuing those sponsorships. But one of those sponsors is Goalie Nutrition, and you guys can go to goalie.com and get some apple cider vinegar gummies to get that energy up, some ashwagandha gummies if you just want to chill and relax, or you can get some matcha mind gummies to get that focus, to get that flow state going. You can go to goalie.com, enter promo code IYH, check out, get 10% off. We'll help you out with your wellness journey and let them know In Your House sent you. Check out everything we're doing right now, just on Facebook Live, just on YouTube, just on Twitch. But hey, that amazing, that awesome, that thought-provoking, all-time faction tournament conversation that we had, you can catch that on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. So, Voice, it is time to talk about, in my opinion, and many other opinions, you can damn near almost say it's a fact. Like, even if you're bucking against this, you might just enjoy something different, or you have a personal hatred of Hogan, which always clouds a lot of people's judgment, or you just don't know what the hell you're talking about. Because 30 years later, Hulk Hogan revealing himself as the third man in WCW Bash at the Beach 1996 to formulate the New World Order is still to this day the greatest heel turn of all time.
Oh, it absolutely is. I remember that birthday. It was 11 days after that heel turn, and I requested my first nWo shirt. It came the next month because they hadn't really got them out yet to where you could order them.
At that time, shipping was insane.
Oh, it was. But I did have my nWo shirt, and it was all because of the Hogan turn. I was ready for it. I think the world was ready for it. We wanted to see a new form, a new idea of what Hulk Hogan could be.
Yeah.
And boy, did we fucking get it.
We sure did. So listen, guys, we have got the video here from the WWE Vault. We're not going to watch the full match here because we put a lot of time towards the first half of that episode, and I'm glad we did. I'm glad you guys loved it. But maybe at another point we can get to the full match, but we're going to get to the moment here. Hulk Hogan forms the nWo with Scott Hall and Kevin Nash, WCW Bash at the Beach, 1996, in the WWE Vault on YouTube. It's a little over 6 minutes and shows the end of the match and the moment, which is what we're focused on. Voice, one thing I'll say about this is one of my more formulated memories in the early hood of my fandom as a young professional wrestling fan. Because I was never a big Hulk Hogan fan. And even as a kid, especially in the culture that I grew up in, like all that like super cheesy, over the top, nice guy superhero act, it was corny to us. Like the do-gooder act or whatever, it was corny. But boy, when he showed his true colors and helped formulate the nWo, man, I got to tell you that ignited something different.
Yeah.
Voice, I remember as a kid, I was, oh, at that point, I was almost 10 years old. I was probably 9. I was 9 years old and I was in elementary school. And I remember the next day, July 8th, 1996, going to school. Well, not going to school. I remember hanging out with my friends. We would hang out around the school. And we would get together. We'd get our bikes. We'd ride around the school. Some of my friends, they were skateboarders, so they would skate around the school and stuff like that. And we would just walk around to different places. But I remember that day when I went over to my friend's house. He lived in the alley behind me. So I would get my bike, I would get up, get the day started. Because remember when we were kids, man, and it was summertime, by the time we woke up and got ready for the day, we were outside for the entire day. I would get out of the house at like 11 o'clock in the morning, and I wouldn't even come home until like 8 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
I would get up, get ready for the day, get my bike, and go to my friend's house. And me and my friend group, we would all meet at my friend's house. His name was Warren, and we would get our day started. I remember that next day, got up, got my day started. My mom, she went to work. I got up, I was doing my thing, went to my friend's house. As soon as we went there, the first discussion was, "Did you see what happened last night on the pay per view, on the WCW pay per view?" "Yeah, Hogan turned heel. I can't believe it. What do you think's gonna happen on WCW Nitro?" "I don't know. I don't know." That was the vibes, man.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I remember it quite well when it happened. I would spend Julys with my mom in the summer, and I called up my cousin in South Bend. We're like, Hogan turned. The next day, I had a baseball tournament in Howe Military, and we drove up there and we were talking about it so much that our coaches on both teams, because they didn't really know that it happened, they weren't really watching it, and they honestly, the people over there weren't really into that wrestling, but they knew Hulk Hogan, and they heard us
Everybody, yeah,
talking about
everybody
he
knew Hogan.
turned. Then I remember my coaches turning to us and being like, "Shut up with that fake crap. We got a game to play." But we were like, "Hulk Hogan's a bad guy now. Like, I don't think you understand." And from then on, it was NWO, and Hogan was just wow. He really dove into this, and it was a very it was one of the first big bombshells I experienced as a wrestling fan. That young in my wrestling fandom was the turn of Hulk Hogan.
And if you were kind of like on the outs of wrestling at that time, that was something to get you back in.
Oh, it did.
That was something
Dude,
to
it
get a
got
lot of people to get back in.
my parents got back into it because of the NWO and all
Bro,
of the stuff that was happening.
bro, my friend who I just told you about who lived in the alley behind us, I would go over his house all the time. His family was great. They were from Texas. They're big time conservative family, you know what I mean? Like from Texas and stuff, but just the sweetest people, nicest people, treated me like family. I was over at his house a lot. A lot. And even his dad was like he knew we liked wrestling, but he was always busy. Like he was like always busy dabbling in something. I think he was a military guy. He was a military guy. Um, but he when we was hanging out, I remember it was a few days after the fact. I was at his house and we were playing one of the WCW games. We were playing on Nintendo 64, and he was like, "Hulk Hogan turned heel." And we were just like, what? Because we were like an adult talking about wrestling, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was different for us because we were just kids talking about wrestling. We didn't see a lot of adults talking about wrestling, and he just kind of came to us, saw us playing the game, and I maybe he just said it because he wanted to engage with us or whatever, because wanted to be the cool older dad, and the cool dad or whatever, and I totally get that, especially now at my big age. But he was like, so yeah, I heard Hulk Hogan turned heel, and me and Warren's eyes lit up, and we were like, yeah, 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 and just bombarded him with all the information and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? It was just a big, huge moment. Like, it didn't make me hate Hulk Hogan. It, like a lot of people did, like in the arena when it happened, like they were, pelting garbage at him and stuff like that. It actually made me interested in the Hulk Hogan character. And I didn't understand why at the time because I was a kid, but this is just my deep love for wrestling back then, and I didn't realize what it was, but I didn't hate him for it. I was like, this is gonna be so cool.
Oh yeah, I know exactly where your mind's at with that, and I mean, all I can think about now is the NWO vignettes that would play, things like that. I'm ready for this moment.
Yeah, yeah, we're gonna get right into it right now. And once again, Hulk Hogan forms the NWO with Scott Hall and Kevin Nash, WCW Bash at the Beaks 1996. WWE Vault. Let's play it in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. So remember, guys, this was the Macho Man, Randy Savage, Lex Luger, and Sting against the Outsiders and a mysterious third man. Outsiders, of course, being Kevin Nash and Scott Hall. Yes. And Hulk's here.
Oh, he's ready. He's ready to be the American hero.
That crowd was up. Like, everybody stood up. And his music didn't even play. Look at his crowd. Bobby Heenan on the call. Whose side was he on? Almost kind of telegraphed it a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Oh. And drops the big leg. And again. Oh. I'm looking at the crowd.
Oh, the crowd's losing their mind. Some of them don't know what to do.
Yeah, some of them don't know what to do. Other ones are excited.
Loving this. Drunky the Clown, he's starting to pick the carcasses.
Got Sting out of there. Randy Savage getting him set up.
Bye, ref.
And there goes the ref.
And big leg drop.
Leg drop. And the pin, 1, 2, 3, in this unofficial ass whooping of what we will become knowing as the NWO.
Well, they definitely knew how to sell the moment. They knew how to get the biggest reaction out of these people. And mocking what these people absolutely loved. Like,
bro, it's the same thing that we just kind of saw with CM Punk winning the title on Monday, and then Sami Zayn winning the title in Saudi Arabia. Yeah. This moment was right for this time.
Yeah, which, I mean, you could beg to argue that a Cody heel turn on Monday Night Raw in Chicago would have, you might have been able to sway some of those fans to become Cody fans.
You might have. I was listening to Busted Open, and they made a point that I agree with, because a lot of people like to compare the John Cena heel turn to the Hulk Hogan heel turn. And now that the dust is settled and the chapter is closed on both those, I can straight up tell you that the John Cena heel turns got nothing on the Hulk Hogan heel turn.
Well, yeah, they did. They absolutely had no clue of how to write for John Cena after that heel turn, and that was very evident.
Yep.
WCW. Also, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying. Also, look at Hulk Hogan, right? Not to say that John Cena didn't look great or anything like that, but also he had announced that his career was done. Like
True.
Hogan went for many years after this. This wasn't the last year of his career. You know what I'm saying?
True. But there, honestly, though, there was no flesh. There was no real gamble if John Cena went
No.
heel. There's a gamble if Hogan goes heel.
Huge
And the
gamble.
fans,
This guy's an
yeah,
icon.
exactly. This was something that in which they said we're going to put all our chips in this, because you also have to understand the fan base of a WCW back then, and WCW was the heart and soul of this, and the guys who just got turned on were everything about everything they loved about this specific promotion. And for Hulk Hogan to come in and give them exactly what they thought, another WCW loyalist, somebody who's going to do the right thing, and he comes out and does
Yeah.
this, I mean, and does it well. There's a thing of doing it and going through the motions. Hulk Hogan was he put it a lot on the line to do this. This wasn't just a well, let's see how things turn out. Let's
Yeah.
go.
Yeah. It seems like there was a plan here. You know what I'm saying? Like they knew where they were going because shortly after that we saw Hogan in all black. Shortly after that we saw the NWO logos. Like this is an iconic moment. Now, the biggest difference for me, probably the difference, and you just kind of said it, but I want to kind of expand on it a little bit. The biggest difference between Hogan's heel turn and Cena's was the follow up.
Yeah,
By far.
yeah, 100%. The follow
By
up,
far.
and they could have really battled this idea of Cena's heel turn comparing to Hogan's if they would have wrote it properly,
Yeah.
but they didn't. And plus, there, like I said, there's no gamble. There's no risk,
Nope.
really, especially when you already say he's retiring. You,
Exactly. He's
you,
already retiring. So it's
yeah,
like, what can you expect?
yeah. I
They
mean,
really, really wrote themselves into a strange corner with that heel turn.
yeah. I mean, is it cool to watch a man wrestle a bear? Yeah, but they put that bear on tranquilizers, so it's really not that cool. If you want to see cool
Yeah.
bear wrestling, watch some Russian videos of them actually going out in the woods and wrestling with a bear.
Yeah. That's it. And here's the thing. Like, he Hulk Hogan just understood it, bro. Like it doesn't once again, this is not about I think I've said this on the show months ago. Like at this point, we're separating Hulk Hogan from Terry Bollea. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? I'm tired of having the conversation. You
exactly,
know,
100%.
but but like he just got it, man. I mean, this dude had the moments of whether it be him defeating the Iron Sheik to win the WWF championship, whether it be him body slamming Andre the Giant at WrestleMania, whether it be him whether it be him formulating the NWO in 1996 at Bash at the Beach. Or what was it when he went up against The Rock? Was that 2002 WrestleMania? I think 18.
Yeah. There's so much wrestling I have to keep in my head, man.
I
Yeah,
get it. I
I
get it.
think so. If I can remember the poster, yeah, I think that's 18. I know they'll let us know and call
Oh,
us
yeah.
idiots.
Yeah, we'll know. They'll let us know in the comments for sure. They'll let us know in the comments. But like the whole point is like, dude was a moment maker.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? A moment maker. And the NWO, I mean, look at it, man. Look at what it created. Look at it shifted the culture, man. And
it did.
it didn't just shift wrestling culture.
No,
It's a special thing when it's something like pop culture shifting, like DX did, like NWO did, like John Cena did. But like There's not a lot of things in wrestling these days that's shifting pop culture. There's just not,
Nope.
dude.
And I mean, without the NWO, do we ever get the Dennis Rodman versus Karl Malone match
No,
outside of an NBA Finals court? No, we
no,
don't. But
no.
the NWO made sure we got that. And Jay Leno also. I mean, come on.
We got great moments from the NWO. And even though it ended an insane mess, I'm not here to argue that. If you're saying, oh, it ended terrible, blah blah, like, okay, I'm not gonna argue with you, cause you're right, it ended terrible. But man, look at us, bro. It's 30 years later. It's 30 years later, and I could open up a fucking fashion magazine and see fucking Kylie Jenner wearing an NWO shirt out of for the sheer fashion.
Yeah,
That's it. For the sheer fashion.
purely makes me want to rip my eyeballs out. But
It's
yes, you are
terrible. It's
100%.
awful. It's
Yeah,
awful. But it's they even the fashion world still acknowledges the new world order.
yeah. I mean, you're 100% on that. DX also, and that's mostly like with, I've seen that with like a lot of band members and things like that, of big bands supporting DX and wearing the DX shirts. But NWO, like, uh, I, I just, I hate, I don't hate people getting out of their lanes, but I hate people taking stuff that when we were called nerds and dorks and stupid for liking, and girls wouldn't let you touch them because you liked wrestling and you were gross
And now
because you
those
liked all
same
that fake
girls
stuff.
wear NWO shirts because
Exactly.
Kylie Jenner told them to.
Exactly. That really grinds my gears, House,
Isn't
you
it
know?
terrible, bro? Isn't it
Dude,
terrible?
I wanted to run my head into a brick wall the first time I seen a Kardashian wearing a Metallica shirt. I
Okay,
just
here's the thing, bro. Let me make this point, and then we'll slide out of here. Call this a really great episode because it truly was. I really love this one.
Oh yeah.
You okay? You are on a different level of popularity. Okay, so just stay with me here. When I see people wear Metallica shirts or Kiss shirts or Tupac shirts, and you know they've never listened to Metallica, they've never listened to Kiss, they've never listened to Tupac, but they wear the shirt because the shirt's cool.
Yeah.
They wear the shirt because the shirt represents a time.
100%.
They wear the shirt because the shirt is iconic. NWO. People wear NWO shirts, and a lot of them might not even know what the fuck NWO was. I get it. I get it. We hate it. We hate it when we see a motherfucker wearing our favorite band and they have no clue who the band is. They can't name one song, can't sing one lyric. I know it's annoying, but it's pretty fucking phenomenal when you see somebody in an NWO shirt and they have no clue what the fuck they're wearing. Listen, whether it's good, bad, or anything, the fact of the matter is that logo, the New World Order, to this day, still holds weight. And I'll leave it at that.
No, that's 100%. I just want to hit this comment.
Bruzy!
Bruzy and Cammy, you guys had a great conversation going on there.
I'm loving it.
I really
I love
enjoyed
it.
reading that off to the side. But hell, most of the NWO members didn't know what NWO was.
He's so right.
Dude, Friday is
brother
going to
is
be
so
a
right.
fun moment with you, Bruzy. I can't wait to have that discussion with you. But yeah, at the end of the day, yes, do I find it sickening? Does it make me want to set the voice on fire?
I hate
100%.
it.
But
Facts are facts.
Facts are facts. And, I mean, yeah, like, and also Bruzy said, unfortunately, nerd culture is general now.
Yep.
It's in style. Yeah. I mean, there's
Yep.
there's a category of porn you can look at called nerd porn. I mean, like when you get,
it's a whole thing, bro.
When you get to those levels, I think there's, it's time to maybe just pump the brakes. Pump the
Just
brakes.
yeah, just a little bit. Hit those brakes just a little bit. But you're not wrong though. Like nerd culture now, you know what I mean. The fashion world has taken it over, and now you see people who've never watched Dragon Ball Z a day in their life cosplaying Dragon Ball Z and stuff. You know, it's all superficial and stuff. And then of course the collared shirt and tie and the big nerd glasses or whatever. That's like textbook like whatever. Nerd culture is a culture that fashion has taken over. But facts are facts. nWo is for life.
You know it, my friend. You know it. Yeah, this was a great episode. All the way through, fans, you guys are the best. Thank you so much for the chat.
The best.
We absolutely, you guys don't know. That's like $100,000 checks to us when we see that interaction. It makes a lot of this time-consuming work well
worth it. Worth it. I mean, when I see chats like the Window Liquor Boys had yesterday, or like we had today, damn it, that just fucking inspires me to want to give you guys more awesome content. I mean, it just does. It just does. I really, really enjoy it, man. And I'm excited for... we got a lot of great stuff, man. We got Bruzy up in here. He says, shit, I'm going to be to the contract sign. He's asking for 100K? Damn.
Well, sure. We got Monopoly money.
Damn. I'm going to say, I'll get you some Monopoly money. I have a couple of copies of the game to get that much. But we'll still figure it out. We'll figure it out, Bruzy. We'll figure it out. But yeah, seriously though, I love this community that we are building, and I'm excited for what's around the corner because we have some people that are going to be coming on. We're going to be doing named by the voice in your house after party, which will be probably we're going to try to start some shows, maybe not next week, but the week after that. Because I'll be on vacation and I'll be able to help with the launch of it. But yeah, we have after party coming after some Monday Night Raws, after some Dynamites, after some Smackdowns, and get the conversation hot and heavy right after the shows. We got our new friend Cammy Versus saying, "You don't believe I am so into wrestling. It's like my first love. I'm emotionally invested." Hey, we're great. We're glad to have somebody with that type of passion for wrestling. That's what it's here. That's great. Like Bruzy says, most definitely Bruzy. We're gonna have him in the mix.
Yeah, we might as well just call it. I mean, Bruzy, unless you have some deep, dark secret or things like that, I'm pretty sure Friday you have it once we talk.
Well, he's been a part of us and found us a long time ago. He's been on the show before. He's been on the show before, and he is a unique personality that anytime Bruzy comes into the chat, you know something crazy is going to be said and it's going to be exciting. So, Bruzy, excited to have him on. Cammyverse, we're happy to have you in this community. And yeah, Bruzy, we loved you on the show, man. So I'm super excited to have you on again. I'm excited for everything we're doing. Check out our website. We're going to get QR codes to that on every studio that we have very soon, but check it out. I'm so proud of what the website is doing. We got huge blogs coming out from Kevin. Hell, even Hype Jones got some blogs coming out. We're gonna get the blogs going really soon, man. I'm just excited.
Friday, I believe, is the first drop.
Friday is the first drop from Kevin on the In Your House blogs page. On the In Your House blogs page. I just said that out loud for the first time. So, yep. It's blessed, man. This is fucking moving, bro. This is fucking moving. I'm loving it. And I can't hide it. I can't hide it, Bruzy. I am excited, man. So we're going to end this on a high note here. Voice, brother, I am so grateful for everything that you've done for this channel, man. The only thing I can think to do at this time to thank you, though, is give you the floor to let them know where they can catch you and everything you're doing.
All right, fans. So if you enjoyed what you've seen here and you like WCW and you like the chat, why don't you stop in next Wednesday where you can hang out with me in Howse? And well, guess what, fuckers? We do it all over again. It's a fun time. It's a great time. It's the WCW watch along at 6 p.m. on a Wednesday. Fans, don't get sad. We're going to be here tomorrow. It's a AEW Dynamite. Yeah. It's a fun time. It's a great time. It's an OG Tony, Howse, and Voice time. That's where we talk AEW Dynamite. That's where we go through all the things, what we love, everything in between, and what we loathe. You'll be there to hang out with us and make that chat exciting. So come hang out with us 6 p.m. on a Thursday. Fans, let's go forward next week. You can catch me and Kevin Calloway, the Chaos Goblin, and possibly Bruzy's gonna be there filling in the third chair. We will be having a third chair. You remember what it was like when we had a consistent third chair. It was a great time, great discussion, and a lot more of your chats got seen. So come hang out with me and Kevin and Bruzy, maybe at 6 p.m. on a Tuesday when we go live. Fans, real quick before we get out here, I know this has been a longer episode, but thank you so much from the bottom of our hearts, because here at IYH, you guys don't see a lot of the work that we do. You see the final product. But when we get into these things, this past 4 months has been nothing, since the expo has been nothing but trying to get to that next level.
Yes.
I took the reins, got the website up and ready to go. Now everybody's got their hands in it, ready to add and make it better. We got In Your House UK getting ready to start up. You guys are going to catch the first iterations of that stuff coming out very, very soon. There's going to be a special surprise when we do drop that one. We got After Dark starting up with our friends over there with Gonzo. We have more people we're going to be talking to for an After Dark AEW show and bring them into the fold. And we got new fans. We got new everything. This website is the game changer. You are going to be seeing us a lot more in live capacities. I'm putting the voice guarantee in 2027. When you see us, you're going to know who we are.
Yes, it's all foundational towards what we really want to do. And that is make this a go-to spot for your wrestling media and beyond that. Because we're always looking to grow. That's what I love about this team, what I love about this community. I truly can't believe that this is what we've grown. Sometimes I truly can't believe it. But, like, seriously, you guys keep me motivated. You guys out there in the household, the team here, team in your house, keeps me motivated. I mean, I just love it. I love this. I love this. I can't say it enough. I love this. I come to every single stream, every single episode, podcast episode, with energy. And it's not because I have to do this. It's because I get to do this.
It's because I do coke, so.
That's
such a joke. That's a joke.
That's a whole other reason. Guys. He means Coca-Cola, obviously.
Exactly.
Obviously. But
yeah,
no,
come on.
But no, seriously, we don't have to do this. We get to do this for you guys out there in the household. And it's truly appreciated that you guys give your time. Because like Voices said many different times, time is our greatest resource and we can't get that back.
Nope.
We cannot get that back, and you guys give your time, and I truly, truly, from the bottom of my heart, no jokes, not like, I know we joke a lot on this show, and that's part of the reason why you guys love it and why we love you, because we can have fun on here, but seriously, from the bottom of my heart, thank you guys. You guys make it worth it. It's all part of the work, and that's HOWSE, and the W stands for work. So, for the voice, Josh Joseph, and the whole team here at In Your House, I'm Malakan, the Con Man House, here to remind you to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to hop on this bandwagon, get on or get gone, because the household, well, We're still going mighty strong. You guys have a great day and a great rest of your week. We'll see you tomorrow for the AEW review show. Peace.
Yeah.